are all the tombs of the conquerors during the pharaoh's time.
Sailing between the botanical garden and the island of Elephantine. Between them.
We go near the tomb also, the tomb also. While passing this, we are sailing between the botanical garden and the This is whose tomb? Whosoever you spoke, he's got to let him explain. Away.
Still, still Elephantine Island. Still, yes.
Same, that's like a small, see, all around, now we went.
Yeah.
Correct.
And the botanical garden, and the tomb of Aga Khan over there, up there.
Aga Khan, huh?
Aga Khan.
You said he died young, huh? Oh, his wife was French.
His wife was French, yes.
place here. The rule here is that there's no guiding, no pictures, and no filming at all inside. Inside, everything is allowed only outside.
Okay, okay. No, even from here, this one.
Once again, outside,
Yeah, if you don't mind.
so, decorated with 6 standing statues, the different Ramesses are different stories. The 2 for Ramesses are just 2 for different stories. So the left to right same. Ramesses, Reflectan, Ramesses, and now from the door same. Ramesses, Reflectan, Ramesses. The statue is 10 meters high, and the little ones represent some of the royal children. You see sons of the father and daughters with the mother. Okay? The temple inside very tiny compared with the first temple. The first one has 6 square columns decorated with Galis Hathor head. You see here has the face of woman with the cow ears. This temple was opened for women. So most of the scenes are offerings. 3 meters high, decorated with 4 colossal statues. The visit Ramesses II. They all have. Each statue is 20 meters high. Ramesses is wearing the double crown of Upper and Lower Egypt. When the broken one was falling down in an earthquake in 27 BC. The statue was crashed into small pieces while only 3 blocks of the crown of the forehead on the floor. This statue has no face, no features, and is forbidden to change or to add anything in the antiquities. That's why UNESCO moved it exactly across. They to try to restore it. Now the little ones which were on the side the legs of the king represents members of the royal family and his beloved wife Nefertari, twice on the face of the door. The little one above the door for sun god Ra is always depicted with the falcon head carrying the sun disk above his head. At the very top above the hieroglyphics, you can see a row of 22 baboons. The ancient Egyptians considered the baboon as a sacred animal, because they noticed that the baboon was the first animal to wake up early before the sunrise, to celebrate the sunrise by making sound and dancing. The ancient Egyptians believed that the baboons like that, they were praying to the sun god Ra. That's why they connected that animal to the god called the god of wisdom. It's about the outside.
Here we are in front of the Queen Nefertiti's temple, and there you see the Ramses temple, Abu Salem temple, Abu Simbel. My son and wife taking selfies.
What to do? Father cannot take.
This is the old site where the original Ramses temple was built about 5,000 years back. From there, because of the dam construction, the water was rising. UNESCO and the Egypt government moved the temple from there to this place, 6 meters above. And this is the Nefertiti temple. And you have the Abu Simbel temple here. There we see Avi and Bandana coming, approaching us.
Hello.
The Ramsey temple.
Don't move.
We are in the Valley of the Kings, getting down from our bus, Toyota bus, minivan, and this is the Valley of the Kings.
बड़ा एरिया है ना? पूरा सफाई कर दी, यहाँ पे रोड बना।
We are at the Hatshep Temple on the 18th of January at Luxor. Now we are going into the headship Suit Temple, the only temple for a queen in Egypt, built in the Pharaoh's time.
المقهى المقهى يا شيخ.
This is the entrance to the headship with all the shops around. We are now inside after paying the entrance ticket. I'm still the best husband. जो
आप मम्मा आप बॉलीवुड के लिए नहीं
कौन सा मॉन्यूमेंट बोल रहे हैं?
ये पूरा इधर का
पापा को बोले को ले ले, इसका ले लीजिए भैया को।
अभी वेट. This is where the Polish people stayed when they came here for the restoration of the headship Suit Temple, which was destroyed in the earthquakes. अभी इधर इधर
आप नहीं गए?
बोलिए. What is it called?
Luxor Temple.
Oh, we are in the Luxor Temple.
Now this is the other type of the temples that we have here in Egypt, you know. It's the cult temples, the religious institutions that the Egyptians used to come on a daily basis to perform their religion. Now, in Luxor, before the New Kingdom era, there was a god called Ammon. When Luxor became the capital of the country, and because the pharaohs of the 18th dynasty were from Luxor, they made their god the god of the whole people. You know? and they associated him with Ra, the sun god. It became Amun-Ra, the king of the gods of the whole country. So all the buildings here are built dedicated to honor this god, the 19th dynasty. Now the one from the 18th dynasty, his name is Third, and the Egyptian temples used to be built from the inside out.
Okay.
So the older parts would be the inside ones. The outer parts would be newer ones. So the honor of the inner parts of the temple, the one who built them, or they were built in his era, is Imhotep III from the 18th dynasty. The outer parts of the temple is built in the era of Ramesses II. So what we are seeing here are actually all parts of Ramesses II. There used to be 6 statues for him, 2 seated, 4 standing, 4 standing ones, only one still standing now. The others
Wir haben verschiedene das Gartenanlage, eine Umwandlung auf
These are all the statues of the Ramsey.
und die Mauer
And they are trying to unify the progress against
وهذا شرعي وهذا من شرع الشرع
the Nile. And we can see one جزء اللي عندك سيما طويل the symbol of unification. Whenever we see this carving
What we see is a mosque here, which was built normally, assuming there's nothing down. And when the excavation started, they discovered the Luxor Temple. So the mosque is still there, and with it, the Luxor Temple.
Guys, let's do the temple explanation.
Yeah.
And when we coming back, we can take the pictures. Okay? But he can after
Who became famous?
Imhotep III, the builder of this part of the temple up to the end,
Chalo.
became very famous after the discovery of the Tutankhamun's tomb. Tutankhamun was his grandson, and he is the son also, Tutankhamun, of the one religious rebel in the ancient Egyptian history. Egyptians used to believe in polytheism. Polytheism means variety of gods. You know? But Akhenaten, father of Tutankhamun, believed in monotheism. Only one God to be worshipped. Okay? Now, this was against, of course, the priesthood, the cult that was standing for thousands of years in the country. That's why they hated him. the priesthood. And they wanted to raise the connection. So they said that the one who built this part was Imhotep III, but it was decorated in the time of his grandson, Tutankhamun, to erase the memory of this infidel, according to their thinking, infidel to their cult, to their religion. Okay? So,
Wait, that is all reconstructed, right?
yes, not
No, that is original.
restored, but the outlines are made by us to show how the scene used to be. You know, these parts that we have never found, you know, the stones for it, you know.
Oh, okay.
Resident of home,
Roman?
chapel, you know.
Church.
You know, the Romans came to Egypt in 31 BC. The Romans, when they came to the country, they were different from the Greeks. They lived in Egypt. They tried to Egyptianize themselves. You know,
Who the Romans?
the Greeks.
The Greeks, okay.
Huh?
Okay.
The Romans, Egypt for them was just a big granary. A part of civilization, you know? So the Egyptians made a lot of revolutions against the
Christian
Romans.
people, they carved this part
One
to look like an
of
ass.
these revolutions,
And actually,
they
this
have
one
killed
here,
a lot of Roman, you know, soldiers. So in a sort of a declaration statement,
when you look
you know,
at the ass,
they came here and changed this part into a Roman control to say to the Egyptians that we are the rulers of this country and we are here to stay. So in your temple where you worship your gods, we're going to worship ours.
Oh, okay.
So the biggest complex of temples all over Egypt, it is not one temple or two or more actually than 3 temples, and they're all constructed intersecting with each other. That's why we call it Karnak temples, not Karnak temple.
Karnak?
temples.
Temples. Okay.
Now, all the constructions here are built dedicated to Amun-Ra, God Amun-Ra. Okay, so he is the owner of all these constructions. Okay, it is not built by one king. It is built by all of them, from the 18th dynasty up to the last native Egyptian pharaoh who died 342 BC, up to the last dynasty, which is number 30. There are 2 acts to go inside the temple, one from south to north, another one from west to east. And this is the one that we are going to use. We're going to go and try to see the most important parts of the temple, because if we want to see all of it, we're going to need something like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you know, to go to each bit of the temple, because the place is done 60 acres. And this
60
used to
acres
be
में है.
an enclosure wall made out of mud brick that goes around the whole area of the 60 acres. Now, there used to be 10 gates made out of stone, 8 small ones like these, and 2 big official ones like the one here and the one over there by the western side. Of course, the place had been subjugated to enormous, you know, and numerous works of restoration and reconstructing. And these pictures around us to show us the place before it had been restored. So when we go inside, we are not going to see this.
Yeah, the temples. After seeing the model, now we are about to enter. The Nile used to be connected here. This used to be the harbor, and then there is a canal to take all the goods inside the 16.
Here. The stairs that used to come in the water, and the ramp over there. And this depression used to be filled with water. Look to the white powder over there.
Yeah.
This is the residue of the salt of the underground water, you know?
Oh.
The minerals in the ground.
अभी इधर बीच में खड़ा हो।
Okay.
पूरा आ जाएगा इधर उधर 10 जगह लेंगे।
These are also called sphinxes,
क्या कवर है?
but instead of the human manifestations of Amun-Ra,
Okay.
he can appear like a man with the crown of the two feathers, and he also can appear as a man with the head of a ram.
Okay.
Here he has the head of a ram and the body of the lion to reflect his strength.
Okay.
Two parts. As long as we are inside, we're going past the sanctuary is the oldest part. And this gate is the newest. We think because we don't have the right on this gate, we think that it had been intended to be done by the last Egyptian king, Nectanebus II, died 352 BC, 10 years before Alexander the Great came to the country. Right? We have found this mud break ram here, and when we investigated it, we started to know that this was their ladder. This is how they used to climb up to build islands. When they are descending down, they decorate this ladder. So the fact that this is still here
Obelisk, beginning demarcates the
Egyptian
beginning of the
thought
creation.
that created God, the one who created us, was sleeping in a big ocean. They called it the eternal ocean. He was awakened on the top of an obelisk. He actually emerged from the waters and he started to create the world, the people, the plants, and everything, you know. So this is the origin of the world, according to the ancient Egyptian religious thinking. We have now in the world 12 of them.
Oh, only 12.
Only 12, huh? Standing in the world. 3 of them in Egypt, from other places all over Egypt. This is the oldest one in the world, done by the father of Hatshepsut, King Moses I. And this is the tallest one in Egypt, the tallest of the 3. And it is done here by Hatshepsut. Okay, stepson, the nephew, and the successor of Hatshepsut,
Who is this?
Thutmoses III.
Okay.
Now, Thutmoses III, Hatshepsut, to get rid of him, she sent him to the army. She told him, convince him, if you want to be a great pharaoh, you have to be military educated. He spent most of his teenage years in the army, because this is done by the Greeks. And the Greeks had come to Egypt in
This is the most important
332
part, the sanctuary.
BC. These 2 statues here are representing Tutankhamun and his wife.
But he was very young, right?
Yeah, he married and his wife had a miscarriage. If this miscarriage didn't happen and he had an heir to the throne of Egypt, the 18th dynasty would have extended, more time. But, because of his death, without any heirs, Hatshepsut is hugging Amun-Ra. He's blessing her by putting his hand over her head and shoulder. These are intimate scenes. And in ancient Egypt, there was no such intimacy. It is always formal attitudes between the gods and the kings. But Hatshepsut here, she wants to say, this is not a relation between a god and a king. This is a relation between father and daughter. That's why I can touch him. That's why I can hug him. He's putting his hand over the world, the universe,
In each temple they used to make a lake which would symbolize the ocean.
That's the east entrance, yes. Now, the lake used to be linked to the Nile, but not anymore. It is now linked to bumps. We renew the water every now and then, just to say or to give it an authentic look. And also they used to raise up geese in it.
Oh, okay.
Because the two feathers of Amun-Ra are taken from white geese. They are the two feathers of truth and justice. Right? And the third thing here is this huge statue of Scarab. Scarab is a beetle that actually makes little balls of mud or dirt and push it with its tiny legs. The Egyptians have seen it doing that, so they thought that it is responsible for pushing the sun into the horizon, into the sky.
क्या पैरवा मरने के बाद
After it is
पैरवा से खोद के
reborn.
नहीं भाई